Welcome to my channel, everybody, and a new comic book collection review. It is called Spider-Man vs. Silver Sable, and as you can see, it has black suit Spider-Man on the front. This is when he has his cloth black suit, so it's not the symbiote. And Silver Sable, drawn by Todd McFarlane, although none of these issues in here are drawn by Todd McFarlane. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know why I think this, but I think this Spider-Man pose used to be in his red and blue, and they recolored it to be black for the cover. Anyway, right here is the spine. There's only 6 issues in here. As you see, it's a number 1, but there is never a number 2, if I remember. Yes, this is the biggest thing of this for me, is the first appearance of the Sinister Syndicate in Amazing Spider-Man issue 280. This collects issues 265, 279, to 281. And the Spectacular Spider-Man 128 and 129. Written by Tom DeFalco and Peter David, two of my favorite comic book writers. So, I got, like I said, it's at the library when I was a kid. I got it. Still awesome. Also, Spectacular Spider-Man, the 2 issues, I don't think you can collect them anywhere else, even to date. So, let's open this up. You see it's really, really thin. You have other thin trade paperbacks. This was also at my library. Actually, so is this one. Son of the Goblin and Spider-Man: The Death of Captain Stacy. There's Spider-Man vs. Black Cat and The Amazing Spider-Man: The Death of Gwen Stacy. This is exactly what the first actual paper of the Birth for Venom one also does. Has the title and some pictures up here of what you're going to be getting from here. And this was Silver Sable's first appearance in Amazing Spider-Man 265. She is hunting down the sort of villain called the Black Fox. He was in Spider-Man comics, I think just one time before this, when he kind of got tricked by the Fantastic Four and the Red Ghost, and Spider-Man stopped it all when he was in his symbiote costume. The Fox is retiring, but Silver Sable has been hired to go after him by somebody, and they're actually very responsible. They hurt someone's car, and they say we'll pay for the insurance, or what insurance won't pay for. They shoot him with mercy bullets, but of course Spider-Man doesn't get that. Also, it's the birth of Normie Osborn, Harry Osborn's son. Harry Osborn and Liz Allen's son. Anyway, Spider-Man sees this to go after Black Fox and stops him, or he gets away for a while. We see Silver Sable. She fights people, very cool. And there's somebody trying to kill her, and she just knocks him out and acts like it was no big deal. So she's definitely a badass. Spider-Man decides to switch costumes. Oh yeah, there's this story going on. I don't really know all the context about it, but Peter Parker and Aunt May haven't been talking to each other since he quit school. And they make up the very last page of this. They find the Black Fox. They all go after him. Silver Sable's Wild Pack does. I don't think they're called the Wild Pack in this issue, though. Spider-Man gets the Black Fox to escape by taking his jewels. He gets the jewels to Silver Sable. They decide to not fight anymore and go on, and that's it. Next up, and I think this was her second appearance, was in Amazing Spider-Man 279. This was at a time during the Web of Spider-Man series where Spider-Man was not around because of this storyline in that series. So they had this "Where is Spider-Man? Missing in action" little storyline going on. And yeah, no Spider-Man at all, just Silver Sable, and she goes after Jekyll because she was hired to do so. But in the disputes, it turns out, she's looking for Spider-Man and he's not there. And it turns out that that there's this guy, and he just killed someone in cold blood for no reason, right in front of her kid. So she gets mad because the same thing happened to her. So she wants revenge on the guy, and it gets to a point where it's either Jack-o'-lantern or the guy, and she chooses the morally superior option and takes out the slime bag, while Jack-o'-lantern walks away wounded. This was also the first time I ever read a Jack-o'-lantern, and I think he still looks so cool. There are some things I missed when I was a kid as well about some of the themes here and adult things. Like, I'll point one out to you that I didn't get when I was a kid. And of course, next issue is the Sinister Syndicate's first appearance. They were hired by Jack-o'-lantern, actually, to kill Spider-Man and Silver Sable. They thought they were meeting Jack-o'-lantern for a trap, but it was a brand new supervillain group called the Sinister Syndicate, and at this time, the Sinister Six only appeared one time in comics, and that was all the way back in 1964 in Amazing Spider-Man Annual 1, so long time coming for a giant supervillain team-up that's not a crossover with the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man finding the Frightful Four with them. Anyway, we have the Beetle, the Rhino is the most well-known Sinister Syndicate member, Boomerang, who flies a lot, Speed Demon, And Hydro Man, really cool. I think this was the first time I ever read a comic with Hydro Man and Speed Demon in it. Definitely Speed Demon. We see that Flash Thompson has been framed to be the Hobgoblin, but basically the big pull of this is the Sinister Syndicate, an awesome fight, and Sandman actually coming back into comics, being a good guy. This story is when he joins the Wild Pack after he helps us Spider-Man and Sable fight the Sinister Syndicate. I just love this little 6-issue collection so much. I know I'm talking so much about it. It's been 5.5 minutes. So Jack-O-Lantern himself, out of costume, is going door to door, basically trying to sell his services to Kingpin and Rose, and they say no. So, and Hobgoblin gets word of this, and he gets mad at Jack-O-Lantern trying to steal his role in that. And as you see, it's just a big fight with Sandman joining, and he comes back because he really hates Hydro Man, because Hydro Man is just a dirtbag, and he reminds Sandman of what he used to be, word for word. Oh yeah, Spider-Man here quits working for Silver Sable, apparently, so to say with his words. So he doesn't get paid, even though he thought he was doing all this to get money at the end to pay for Flash Thompson's legal fees. It's really cool. Rhino actually busts Sandman apart, and Speed Demon keeps him in an airlock. Jack-O-Lantern kidnaps Flash Thompson, but Hobgoblin wanted Flash Thompson in prison so people would not suspect him doing things. Also, I don't think this ever comes up again, but they destroy Beetle's antennas on his helmet, so that stops his electroblasts from working. That's kind of a cool feature they did. Of course, there's this huge fight, and Jack-O-Lantern and Hobgoblin almost both get defeated, but still. Spider-Man saves Silver Sable's life. She gets some up on Hydro Man. Spider-Man just goes 1,000 Fists of Fury on Rhino. Sandman takes on Speed Demon, but the Sinister Syndicate get away, which I actually like that they got away. And that's it. Flash Thompson is on the run after escaping the Jack-O-Lantern's hideout. Something's happening to Spider-Man, which I don't know because I've never read issue 262. Or sorry, 282. This is in the 30th anniversary of Marvel Comics, or maybe 50th, so there's a special cover. And then we jump all the way to Spectacular Spider-Man 128 and 129. Black Cat, Daredevil, and Spider-Man. So this is a little set by the Foreigner. Foreigner and Black Cat are dating, and the Black Cat is playing the Foreigner and Spider-Man against each other. Spider-Man was framed for the murder of this forgotten Spider-Man rogue called Blaze, so he's trying to figure it out. At the same time, Stan Carter, the Speed Demon, comes back, and he's on Spider-Man's side, saying that Spider-Man did not commit the murder, and that is probably the police captain, who is the Foreigner in disguise, who is another forgotten Spider-Man villain. I talked about both of them the last 2 weeks on The Real Super Sam's channel. Betty Brant, after Ned Leeds, he has recently been killed by the Hobgoblin. Or, by Foreigner, because at this time people thought he was the Hobgoblin. Betty Brant still thinks he's alive, so Peter Parker and Flash Thompson snap her out of her delusion. Spider-Man stops this rogue S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, or he's not a rogue, but he just hates Spider-Man. And, yeah, the story just plays out simply like that. At the very end, we learned that Foreigner and the Silver Sable are exes. They used to be married. And this was kind of a plan that went haywire, thanks to Black Cat. Anyway, there's 3 pieces of concept art. Here's a lot of I don't even know what this is. Amazing Spider-Man Volume 7. Is this the Marvel Masterworks? Oh gosh, of course they are. Look right there. It says it right there. So that's something if you don't know what that is or haven't seen it before. That said, I really do like this, but it's fully for nostalgia. I would not recommend paying $16 for 6 issues. I mean, come on now. It doesn't really make sense unless you have some other storylines, mostly from the Spectacular Spider-Man. And of course, at the time, issues 279 to 281 will be collected in Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection Volume 16, the most wanted epic collection ever. Still not out yet. But anyway, talked way too much about this, but thank you for watching, and again, have a great day.